how do I say this respectfully? I'm not your people. You're not my people. I don't roll like that. Just because we have the same skin color doesn't mean that you're my people or vice versa. And this is something that I've seen as an immigrant who has been living in the United States of America for more than a decade now. This past couple of years, people like you see me and automatically assume that I'm a slave descendant, my ancestors are slaves, and then they expect us to think the same way, act the same way, or believe in the same things. And if we don't, we're crazy or we're called all the racial stuff in the book, which is for another day. But first and foremost, my ancestors were not slaves. Secondly,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to shoot from the hip, okay? I'm going to say this without much respect, if none at all, okay? I hear you talking. I hear your talking points and I understand them. But listening to them begs the question, why are you here in the country, okay? Why are you in proximity to us that you feel you need to make some statement about how you feel about what we believe and who we are, how we self-identify? I want to know what gives you the right to comment on our situation, what we believe in relation to yourself and whatnot. When you go to another country, don't you respect its customs and the people's situation and whatnot? You know, because, well, that could put you in a situation that you don't want to be in. But you guys don't feel that way with us and whatnot. You have derogatory terms for us in your language, and you habitually muck up the waters, politically speaking and whatnot. You have given set-asides that we aren't given because people like you, who we fought to be able to, just so that you could come over here and do whatever the fuck you want to do with shit. We fought for your people with your melanin content to come over here. Shit, that was a huge mistake on our part. I admit it and whatnot. Whoever the fuck did that shit back in the day, that was a bad idea. We need to come together as a community and shit. But that's our problem, not yours and shit. Our issues, not yours and whatnot. You have no place in our political structure whatsoever. But you see that the dominant always puts you guys in positions of authority and shit, you know? Right? And then while you're in these positions of authority and shit, people like you wear a Halloween costume as one of us and whatnot. So therefore, we're irritated by that and angered and whatnot because you come over here with this racist rhetoric and you, when it suits your needs, you put on that Halloween costume and pretend that you're a black American citizen and shit. I didn't say African American shit because I do believe we're two separate races, just like I believe we're two separate races from Caucasian people and shit. Alright? No one who is actually of the same, cut from the same cloth could do the things they've done to other human beings across this planet. And look what they've done to your continent and shit, your country or whatever the fuck you identify as and shit, okay? African with 3Ks and said, hey, how come you guys are so behind on every goddamn thing? How come you guys aren't the superpower over there and shit? Okay, how come your disparate number of tribes don't have a common language to speak to each other and shit, therefore allowing others to come in and run the narrative and shit and exploit you guys in all arenas over there, okay? Even your bodies. And how come you guys are so fucking mentally screwed up and buck broken and shit? How come you guys are so mentally screwed up and buck broken that you adopt their mindset? You even in your courts, you wear wigs that look like these people and shit, you know? Alright? Even right now, while you're talking, you're a contrast of different ideologies and shit. You know, you have beautiful black skin and shit, but you feel the need to stick light blue contacts in your ears while you're wearing a black wig, you know, black afro wig and shit. I know that's a wig on your head. That's not your fucking hair, okay? And then you try your best to sound like a European, okay? You adopt their dialect and shit. What is your actual language, okay? If you really want to troll us, why don't you say this diatribe in your own native language? Maybe you don't speak your own fucking language because you're indoctrinated, okay? And you're fucked up and you have a white supremacist mindset and shit. And we just reserve the right to not want to deal with that shit. And you're lucky we're just saying shit to you, okay? A lot of you guys say that we called you African booty scratchers and shit. And I haven't heard that shit since the late 70s. Alright? I'm a Generation Xer, an elder statesman of this here slave quarters of America, okay? 3Ks and said. Alright? And I want to say, like, the question is posed. Why are you here amongst us? And why don't you just go live with the white people and shit? Because they don't want your fucking ass. Okay, that's why you have your little African town and shit, you know, where you guys get to pretend like you're somebody and shit over here, you know? You're nothing. You're a tether. You're a buffer class of fake black people, okay? We don't want you to be a part of our situation, okay? Okay, you're not the solution, okay, in any way or form, and your opinion doesn't matter. You're part of the problem and shit that needs to be expunged and shit, okay? Now you keep talking this shit, you and your cronies and shit, and we're gonna get us a Rwanda, 2.0 and shit, metaphorically speaking and shit. We're calling you guys out, but I've been seeing this bullshit since I was a kid. I've been seeing this bullshit since a kid, and it's hilarious how, like, as far as racism goes, shit, the most virulent racists that you can find are female. Yeah, yeah. You thought you'd get on TikTok and shit and go troll or spiritually attack black people over here. People you're amongst pretending to be one of us. Every time there's a benefit, you have something to say. You don't want us to to practice our history and our culture, which you guys readily take whatever you need from and shit to make a false culture and shit, huh? And you want to know why somebody used disparaging terms and shit and fuck with you? That guy, that Tariq Nasheed and shit, he was the nice one of us. Okay, there's a lot worse. Okay, we're in the shadows. We're looking at your black ass. Okay. And we just want to know why you're here. You know why you're here? Because you don't have no opportunity in your own country. You should stay in your own lane, okay? Go back to Africa, motherfucker, and shit, and fix your shit, Why don't you guys do something about China? They got by divvying up all your shit. That's becoming China 2.0. And I actually saw a video last year in 2020. I saw a video of a Chinese man with a whip whipping one of you guys and shit, while 3 or 4 other ones stood there looking blankly like idiots and shit at this Chinese man whipping the shit out of an African man. All right, or maybe you're one of those goddamn feminists and shit who secretly love bread so much that you're willing to catch a social disease. There was a Brad over there. He gave over 147 women HIV and shit and expressed no regret and was still living over there and still dating and shit and posting the shit on social media. He was banging a lot of females like you. It's a shame. It's a shame that the supposed motherland got his head up its ass and they let a majority minority ruin the country and shit. Now the Chinese are over there just taking over every goddamn thing and treating you motherfuckers like second-class citizens. But you come over here to the black community in our little slave quarters, in our little hamlet, to express your bullshit, your Stockholm syndrome. Okay? You know why that is? Because you hypothetically speaking, you and your people who are here in this country who have the mindset that you have, you're beneath us. Okay? You're beneath us. There's a reason why we are the way we are and shit, and we habitually break those chains and shit, and more each day. Okay? And that's none of your business. Okay? Nothing we do here is none of your business or your concern and shit. Okay? You keep wearing your Halloween costume as a black woman with your blue contact lenses on and your afro wig and shit, and you get as much set asides and bullshit you could get. You go to the best colleges and you pray for a white boyfriend so he can have gutter sex with you and do it in all your holes and shit and get you a social disease, and then ignore your ass when he marries white woman and shit and have white children and shit that you wish you could give him and shit, but you're lesser than and shit. And the reason you're like that is because that's how you feel in your own pea brain and shit, okay? While you try to convince yourself you're better than us. You're the person that gets slapped by the biggest bully on the yard. And then you go looking for a toddler to punch out to make yourself feel better and shit. So you come to the black community and shit. But you didn't expect to find us down here with that bum bitch paddle for your ass.